Joy Road, War on Drugs. I'm here with Nate Turner, aka Nate Nitty, one of the originals, first generation, some of the guys that stood up in their youth and fought back for us to be able to be in the neighborhood and just move about freely. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, your name, nickname, and when you moved into the neighborhood.
Nathaniel Turner, aka Chico Star, that was my first name.
Chico Star.
Aka Sir Romeo, second name.
It's a lot of names.
Had to solidify because I grew up on that gangster shit. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna be a Nitty. And they called me Nate Nitty.
Okay. So when you first moved over there, I'm hearing the story about the guys that you actually came up with, about how the environment was, how hostile it was. Tell us, what was the year you first moved over there?
December 26, 1974.
1974. What was that first night like? Was it a night, the first day? What was that like?
Well, it was the day after Christmas, so you would think it would be a good night, but it was horrific. Getting up in the middle of the night, use the bathroom, and see a glare coming through your window that don't look familiar, and walking to the window and looking out and seeing a cross burn on your lawn.
How did that make you feel? Did you feel fear, anger, or confusion?
I felt it, every emotion, every negative emotion that you could feel as a black, as a youth.
Did you understand it? What it was? Did you understand it was like racist intimidation tactic?
Oh yeah, I understood that because of my family. You know what I'm saying? Because I had some family members that was Muslims. I have some family members that's Panthers. I got some family members that's Moors. So I was pretty much schooled earlier in my youth, and I recognized it, but I never experienced it.
Okay, you talked about how your family members, the older ones, was training you to be militant, and that's something big that I learned. I learned that as well. You know, one of COINTELPRO's objectives was to stop young blacks from becoming militant. So y'all was already getting trained for that, and it seemed like that training was starting to kick in. It actually kicked in y'all youth. Y'all was 13, 14, fighting grown men. Tell us about one of your first encounters where you got attacked over there in the neighborhood because of the color of your skin, or just for whatever reason. Like, what was one of the first times you got attacked outside of the intimidation?
Well, on my way to Dixon Elementary, I was with my sister Teresa walking to school. I had some blue chucks on my neck, the strings tied together. Walking down Constant Minot, white boy was on one side of the street, we was on the other side of the street, across the street, and grabbed the shoe and wrapped it around my neck like he was trying to hang me, like I was a slave. And kicked me in the ass, told me, nigga, get up out of here, and took my shoes.
How'd that make you feel?
I felt very disrespected. I felt he was a teenager, but he's like 16, 17, and I was like 8 or 9. I felt like I couldn't beat him.
Right.
So I felt dominated. I felt dominated.
You said you felt dominated in that moment, you know, and feeling dominated. What was your response to feeling like that? Because I know y'all fought back, so let the viewers know like how you started to address feeling like that.
Well, I didn't let that deter me from going to school. I told my sister, you know, my sister was crying. I had to protect her the best way I can. I was like, man, you can have the shoes gone with, you know, all right, whatever. So we continued to go to school. And I felt dominated because my sister was crying and my sister was there. See, now she hadn't been there, it would have been a whole different outcome. But my sister there, so I had to protect her. So I, okay, whatever. We're gonna go to school, and we'll talk about it when we get home. So once I got home, my sister started crying uncontrollably, and my mom and my stepfather asked what happened. I told them what happened. They said, well, how you didn't come home? I said, because we still had to go to school. I wasn't gonna let that deter, what we had to do. That's how I was thinking at that time. I'm not gonna let this bother me because I knew I had to confront the same situation when I got into school. So once I got into school, okay, this older man did something to me. So now I'm finna go in here and do something to y'all. Because it's equal now. So bam, we go to the gym. I'm not gonna say his name, but it was this one European that was with the 999, because at this time Roots had started. So he 999, okay. We playing basketball, and they use the N word. Who got the picking teams? I got the, okay, you can call me nigga too many times, all right. But he on the opposite team. I'm from Del Rey, I'm from Southwest, so I with all the shit. He came down, he tried to do some little bullshit, went to the bam! Right in his mouth. With my fist. Go to the office. Why did you do that? And I had to explain my situation to them of what just happened to me on the street to school. So they didn't call my mama in the school, and she had to explain what we was going through at that early part. We ain't been in the neighborhood a month. So this is the prelude of the drama that we about to go through, because now we targeted.
When you say we, speak about some of this we, because you talked about coming from Southwest Del Rey, and I know it's history with your cousin on the east side with the Latin Dubs, and you talk about him teaching you how to organize. Share some of the things that he shared with you when it came to organizing the rest of the youth in the community, to protect yourselves.
So fast forward, we get through that little bump in the road. So now, Roots is in the second season, whatever. So now, you have what they call the White Killers.
The White Killers, what's that?
That was a white gang.
Really?
Yes, it's called the White Killers, the WKs.
Before you go into that, I want to ask you too, because that's deep. First time, but I'm hearing you.
This your first time hearing that?
Yeah, that's my first time hearing that, but I don't want to glance over two things you said twice. You said Roots, the first season. So you basically saying this like Roots is having an impact.
We're going into Chicken George.
Yeah, it's having an impact on you.
We leaving. It's having an impact on the whole community.
I know, but what I'm saying, some people don't realize that film and cinema impact.
This is the real Joy Road. This is what I'm trying to tell people. This is the real Joy Road. This is what got us together, got them together. Okay, but we came over in peace. We came over in harmony. We trying to live a life. Everybody trying to eat and live their life and
just want to live there.
And just want to have a better part of a piece of America. Because we all come from some different other places. You got people come to the east side. Like I said, we come from South. And I ain't got to talk about all that because everybody know where they come from.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and my man be, like the song said, my man used to be singing to the moon because he'd be so drunk. And in Southwest, it was just, but I thought that was normal until I got into this area. And I was like, oh, shit. But then the other thing came. So now we dealing with this. So yeah, season 1 Roots with
Compton.
My man, I forgot his name.
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton. Yeah.
So now we in Chicken George era. the second season. So now this is when it get turned up.
Right.
So we watch the same TV. So we go to school, they see the same thing we seeing. So now they galvanizing their troops. But I ain't even strong yet. We're not nowhere near the personnel that they have. We got 7, 8 guys going to school, 4 or 5 girls. We just trying to go to school and come home. That's all.
Y'all trying to just do what?
We just trying to educate ourselves and live. That's all. We ain't on nothing.
Right.
They chasing us up and down the street, up and down Joy Road, up and down. We literally had to walk around that neighborhood like we was in the motherfucking Underground Railroad. Do you hear what I'm talking about? Like we had to take different ways. Like I took several different ways to get the Lessinger. Like, come on, man.
And back home.
And then the same thing back home. I had to walk sometimes to Chicago to come back. I had to walk down Trinity to Chicago just to come back home. Who does that? But that's what we had to go through. And that was cool. And during the wintertime, it's cool. But anyway, getting back to the guy that stole my shoes. So now we're going to lessons. Now the busing. That's what I said. The busing started now. So now we're in 77. So the busing season started. So 4, 5, 6 kids, black kids at lessons. So they started the busing season. So now the Herman Gardens getting bused too. Lessons. It was okay with them at first because it was new to them too. So they was trying to figure out what was going on because they was going to run them in the Brooks, but they didn't know about this whole other thing over here. So it's before Christmas again. I'm at the bus stop in front of A&G. Same white boy stole my shoes. Saw me at the bus stop. Me and my sister again. So he crossed the street in front of right there that vacant lot right there with Nash. It's Nash, the vacant lot, then the restaurant. El George, whatever it is. So he crossed the street exactly right there. So A&G is a vacant lot right there too. So I saw him coming. I had an Eskimo coat. Now mind you again, my cousin from the east side worked at the liquor store. He gave me a box cutter. I had an Eskimo coat on, so I put the box cutter right here in my Eskimo coat. So I see him come. I said, "That's that motherfucker that." I said, "Oh, he coming for me again." So I told my sister, I said, "Teresa, run home." We lived on Warwick, right across the street. She can run down the street. I said, "Go home." She's like, "I ain't gonna leave you." I said, "No, go home." So he coming, so he see me. So he see my sister running, so now he running across Joy Road. So I'm running through A&G. If anybody know, A&G is a vacant lot, then it's going to a Granville. So I run through that vacant lot. He chasing me, so he coming around the corner of Piedmont. So I said, when this motherfucker hit this corner on Piedmont, I'm about to do him. Now it's snowing again. It's funny. Why my damn Eskimo coat freeze? I can't get the shit out of my box cutter. Soon as he grabbed me, why that shit jump out that motherfucking pocket like Star Wars, like it was a lifesaver. Soon as he grabbed me, he turned me around. I popped it. Now mind you, it's snowing like a motherfucker. So when it's snowing, now the bus is coming down Joy Road from the Gardens. So we on Joy Road and Piedmont on the corner. He got me. I turn around while the bus is going by. It's snow falling. It's white. It's about 3 inches of snow, and I hit him. Bam! I get that nigga 2 smiles right across his nostril. Wow! Hit him like that. Blood squirting everywhere. Pop, 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 pop. So one of the bus drivers stopped the bus, and some of the brothers got off the bus from the guards because he had 2 other guys with him, and they came to help me. And that was my introduction to the guards because they seen that I wasn't no.
You wasn't going for it.
I wasn't no hoe, and they said, "Oh, this nigga, he on one." You know what I'm saying? So it was a give or take thing with them later on, but they knew that okay, that one right there, you know, he not one of them guys.
Yeah, I hear about everybody talk about you organizing the Latin doors. I know Gino and Craig, they rep Scony. And how everybody was united. But
different organizations. Oh, see, that's when they moved over there. My homeboy, my big homie that galvanized or got me to galvanize all the blacks that was moved over there. His name was Raymond, aka Speed. Raymond was an East Side gang member from the set called the Latin Dogs off of Helen and that low bottom East Side. So they family was having problems too, but he was the one that was, he had
Taught you how to organize.
Taught us how to organize. That he had the backing from the East Side. So my mom, my stepfather would go out. His sister used to babysit us, and then he would just give me game. Like, y'all gonna have to get together. He said, Nate, you gonna have to every kid, every brother to move over. You gonna have to. It's up to you. You gonna have to get these guys together.
Okay. I want to ask a question. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I wanted to interrupt you for a reason. Yeah. The reason is, this guy organized you all.
Mm-hmm.
So, in this organizing, you use the term gang, which that's what it was or that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you were organizing to be militant in a hostile environment, right? So what was some of your strategies? You said he taught you and he was telling you what to do. Can you break down like how you implemented or how you started organizing based off of what he had shared with you?
Okay, so first of all, he put me in this, he had a cold car, he had this Cutlass. So he took me on the east side, which I had found on the east side, but he took me over there to the neighborhood, whatever, with all the, where his guys was, and guys that grew up in the 60s that was going through this, doing the Detroit riots or whatever. So he just told me that you're going to have to, everybody come to your school because I know ain't no black kids hardly in Lessinger. Now I'm in Lessinger. So you're going to have to talk to these guys. And when they move over here, you got to talk to them, let them know what's going on and what the program going to be. And this your program. So he gave me a program. Organizations, see, that's this, and I'm glad when I was on the phone with you the other day that you didn't hear what was said. And not that I didn't want you to hear, I just wanted to explain it to you.
Right.
The hood first name, the original name of the neighborhood was Oz City.
Oz City?
Ozcity.
Oz City.
Like the Wizard of Oz.
Really?
I named the hood Oz City.
I heard him say something. I'm like, what my man just say?
Now, anybody,
that was who was that? Frank
that was Ab Nitty.
Ab Nitty.
I had a crew of Nitties too. So I had a crew of Nitties. And the original name was Oz City. So if you grew up in the late 70s and the 80s, you already know if you was gang, because we started gang banging after the white shit. So we was Oz City Latin Dogs.
This after fighting the Europeans.
Exactly.
So beautiful. So Cuz taught you how to organize. Mm-hmm. You start organizing the Latin Dogs. I want to get into some of the techniques, the strategies, and the skills that you use to start off organizing. I remember you telling me that first you would see the person and you would acknowledge them and start a conversation with them, and like how you organize.
So, a lot of people don't understand, and I'm gonna say this person's name because he is a very reputable neighborhood. Even though he just who he is, but he's reputable. He's a reputable. He my brother, Luck.
Huh?
Luck.
Yeah.
When I first, I swear to God, when I first met Luck had on a trench coat and a 3-piece suit. Fly as a. He was wilding down the street. I'm like, what's your name, man? I'm like, okay. You know what time it is, right? But I didn't say it like that because that came later. I'm like, you know what's up? You know what? And I explained who I am. This is what we doing. You want to be over here, this is what we doing, because you got to protect yourself, because he lived away. See, we all live kind of away from each other. The main ones.
Mm-hmm.
Not the main ones. A lot of the main ones. We lived kind of spared out.
Right.
You know.
All the way from Timon back
Yeah,
to Plymouth.
we was kind of, you know, all over the place. They used to call Warwick the nigger street. So that's where all the realtors moved, most of the black families. So now, first of all, we was the, before we was the Latin dog, we was the Latin pups. Because we was the younger version of the Latin dog. That's me, Maurice, Paul, Crawford, Paul Crawford, and Durrell. Yeah. Goldie, Chico, Luck, Daddy Cool, and Mr. Sweet. That's the original 5 Latin dogs, which was Latin pups, because we was a younger version. Now they came from the east side to Schoolcraft, and we had to make our bones because we was the west side version of the Latin dog. But then we had a faction on Schoolcraft, which was a faction of the east side, and we had to make our bones to be real. And they seen that we was real because the opposition that we was up against. They would, like, yeah, nigga, we over here on some bullshit with these people. So, and it came up going through school, going through Lessinger. You know what I'm saying? And even going to Lessinger, people were apprehensive to claim something other than HGK because
talk about that. Cause
I'm finna talk about it. I'm finna talk.
Yeah.
You ain't got to get off until I'm finna tell you that too. You had Freddie, you had me, Durrell. Freddie, me, Durrell, Carnell. Me, Freddie, Durrell, Carnell. I want to say that was it. Maurice at that time. But saying that to say this was 77. This is 77. This is the year before we go to Cody. So this year was really hot because we was fighting the white people and the Herman Guards at the same time. And I just could not. I'm like, no.
Did you feel
this when I turned, hold on. This when Chico Star, Latin Pup, turned into Sir Romeo because I had all the black, all the girls that was moving to the neighborhood. I was, doing my thing. I'm like, what's your name, Sir Romeo? Oh, I'm not Sir Romeo. And then I'm like, I had to turn into Nate Nitty real quick because now it's 77 and we got the Herman Guards, we got the white boys. I'm like, man, I ain't fucking with none of these niggas. Nigga, I'm Nate Nitty, bitch. I'm from Joy Road. You know what I'm talking about? So me and Durrell got together. Durrell was Goldie, and I was Nate Nitty. It was what it was. Durrell graduated. He went to Cody. I'm in there by myself now. Bam, go to the bathroom. HGK, all up on the wall. HGK.
It's back in the 70s.
This is 1977. This is the year before I go to Cody. This is 1977. I walked through door 6. You know what door 6 is.
Yeah.
Bam, go straight. That first bathroom at the Every building. Bam, hit that motherfucker. Go through the door. Bam, that first bathroom right there. HGK. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Are you serious? Oh, okay. Bam, go get a marker. I come back. Latin dog. Nate Nitty. In the bathroom. Now everybody want to know. What the fuck is Nate Nitty Latin dog?
So hold on, I want to stop because we kind of used to that, but we really didn't key into that. So writing on the wall, this would be equivalent to like some of the stuff they do on social media now. It's like making comments.
Equivalent,
so
but you're identifying yourself.
Right. So if I'm writing on the wall,
you marking know territory. Who you are.
Oh, okay.
I mean, know who I am because I was dealing with a particular situation because they from the projects and we from over here and they came to the school.
Why you think y'all ain't get along? Y'all the only blacks in the neighborhood. Why y'all?
No, they were across Southfield. Now, mind you, hold on. Let me please explain this. They will always and forever be my brothers because I had some very good relationship with the guard. I'm not gonna say I didn't, but I had a bunch of not too good relationship with the guard. Like Larry Douthit, one of my best friends, Martin Lee. Me and Clyde was cool. Clyde Davis, Ruben, we was cool. But then you had them ones. You had Georgia Snoop that was combative. You know, Cookie Head was my man. It was different. You know, it was different cliques, different relationships. It was a bunch of different shit going on at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I can say, they had their time in like 76 or 77 because they know we wasn't galvanized over there. It was only like 5 or 6 of us. Mm-hmm. Now come 78 when we go to Cody. Now it's a whole different makeup. Now we Latin dogs. They're like, oh shit, these niggas is about that. Now hold on. Now we still dealing with the white people. You have to understand it. We're dealing with the white people. So now we done got off into some shit to where, you know what? These motherfuckers go to work at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's get up in that thing and see what they got.
Start breaking in houses.
So we ain't got no, cause we got 3 or 4 heaters in the hood, but now we starting to get up in that shit.
I'm hearing that. That's what.
Oh my God, we had the best arsenal on the west side.
So these houses was filled with weapons.
Oh my God. Oh, I had one. Man, let me tell you something. I had a motherfucking 38 that was. I love that motherfucker. That bitch was
What?
a pearl gray with a ivory handle. Oh my God, that bitch was sweet as fuck.
Question. Once y'all start, because I hear the story, you start doing B&Es. Most of that was going on Joy Road heavy. That's where it started, y'all.
Yes.
When the white flight started, everybody talk about how everybody started turning on each other. When the white flight started and the drugs came in the community, because nobody really has led us into that.
Into what?
Into the change.
Well, the change. Let me.
When did the change happen from y'all sticking together fighting them?
The change started. See, now you got. It's still a gap. It's still like. Okay, you got 78. Most of the guys is going. We all damn near going to Cody at the same time, or been a year in at Cody. The core group, we 78, 79 in Cody. Right? So we damn near predominantly at Cody. So we not infighting. We still dealing with people. So now we didn't got the rep. Because you got to understand something. We still on the far end. We on the last part of the west side for the blacks. Mm-hmm. We at the begin. Okay, going from west to east, we're on the far east side. I mean, no, the far west side going east. We're on the last black neighborhood.
Yeah, it's not going no far.
Frontier, like we discovered some shit.
Yeah.
So we the beginning of the blacks going west. So imagine this: everything across Southfield is your enemy, along with where you live with the white people.
Yeah.
So we get in with the white people. Soon we cross Southfield, it's on.
Yeah.
Greenfield.
Yeah, I'm hearing that.
Myers.
Yeah.
All the way to downtown. This is what we're dealing with. We had a get down on the bus. I ain't gonna mention no names. Some motherfuckers got their ass towed up, fucking with us.
Gino got a shine on that day.
Not only him.
Who else got their shine on?
My nigga Rockin' Reg. This downtown and back, when the Tigers won the championship, who you think was downtown doing? Man, we was down that motherfucker about 50 deep. Yeah. Shout out to my nigga Charlie Tuna, Mr. Charles Rucker.
Yeah, I seen her brother, right?
Man, that was my man. Big shout out to him.
I whatchamacallit. Gino.
No, Charles Rucker. Make sure you put this on the record. That was my guy. Man, let me tell you something. Yeah, he was, yeah.
Gino talk about Gino talk about
All his brothers,
the hang-
them niggas used to sing. They taught me how to sing. Gina, his brother Timmy, Steve, his sisters. Man, they was a beautiful family. Mother, rest in peace, Miss Rucker. Man, we all had. See, when people say, "Oh, he was the first," again, going back to what I'm saying is, we didn't know a lot of us was over there at a particular time. All
Yeah.
we know now is when you say the date. So if you grew up on Joy Road going toward Timon, you knew who was in that neighborhood. If you grew up on Joy Road going to Chicago, you knew who was in that neighborhood. And we all came to, so basically we all basically came together at the school or at Cody Rec.
right.
That's where I got shot at. Where I got shot when we started the infight when them niggas across, when them brothers across Chicago, across Southfield was hating, and Gino, he you know, hey, he came back and got me. He came back and got me like a Vietnam veteran. We was under heavy, heavy artillery fire. And he was running through the bullets, and he came back because I got shot, and he came back and picked me up and run, and took me to our spot on Joy Road, Ray's Pizza, right there on Greenview and Joy Road.
Mm.
You know,
When did
I'm forever indebted to them guys. I love all them guys.
right. When did so we covered moving into the neighborhood, the racial hostility. We covered the hostility from other individuals that was territorial. Now, one of the key things that I know and I experienced, I just don't know of that time when it started, was the drug epidemic. Because we was on the back end of it,
Mm-hmm.
as far as when it come to the hustling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all was there when it started. I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do kind of remember before it really, you know what I'm saying, before you could comprehend it.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time we was like 9 or 10, matter of fact, about 6 or 7,
Mm-hmm.
we knew what crack was because they was on TV talking about don't do drugs, cracking eggs on skillets, saying this your brain on drugs. Man, so this neighborhood, it
Man.
was unique, and I think this was part of the downfall with the drug era. Like, how did that begin? Like, from what you seen, like, what was the first time you like, oh shit, this shit here? No matter if it's here, I'm about to make some money off of it, or it's here, this shit fucking up us. I want to know the first time when you recognized it was there, the drugs, and when it clicked in your mind to say this shit is fucking us up. I know that couldn't have happened at the same time.
I want to give a special shout out to another family that was over there that didn't get mentioned, and that's my homegirl Cheryl Chandler
Mm-hmm.
and her brother Mario,
Mm-hmm.
and my other homegirl that got killed during that situation that you're talking about. I didn't bring her up and I got her goddamn name. She got killed right there on Tanya Green. Tanya Green. She got killed on Westwood, between Cathedral and Dover. Yeah, Tanya. Yeah, beautiful person. Shout out to Skinny. My nigga Skinny got killed during his time. Rest in peace, Skinny. Shout out to Bon's little brother got killed during this time. I started selling weed my 10th grade. During this time, I was at the bus stop, and when I was 10th grade, 11th grade, Kurt McGirt pulled up on me and asked me if I wanted to go, I had a Max Julian on, whatever. And he asked me if I wanted to get down, so I went to the Bruce's. So that was my first introduction to it. But he was dating one of my cousins off the east side, and he had saw me over there. So he's like, "You want to go to Bruce?" I was like, "Yeah, I know Bruce." So I went over there, whatever. Wasn't no big deal. So then, just like 84, 83, 84. This right after high school, 83, 84. So then I go see my other man on Linwood. I'm like, "Come over here, man. I want you to, my brothers, they were first ones that came over there with it. And it just, we was popular, dude.
Where was the first bag drop?
Artesian and Dover.
And then it was Midnock and what?
Then it went from Artesian and Dover to Midnock.
What part of Midnock?
Between Cathedral and Dover, same thing.
So tell us, like, what year was this?
This was like 84, 85.
84, 85.
Mm-hmm.
What was like some of the things you were seeing, some of the people you were seeing who were participating in it that you think cool, ain't got no problem with you sharing about it?
At the time, we had briefly left Joy Road. My mom and my stepfather had divorced, and I had just got shot. So we had moved downtown. So I was still, in my recovery, I would still come back to hood. At the end of my recovery, I would still come back to the hood. And I had long hair back then, so me and my man Body Slam, we go get our hair done, perm down to Shaw's, and go back to the hood. And he was telling me about a certain thing that was going on. And him and Goldie was doing, AKA Durrell. So I saw what they was doing. I wasn't too interested at first, but then out of nowhere, them boys was getting money. They was getting a lot of money. Because people understand, in 84, 85, you had the Curry Boys, you had the Chambers Brothers, you had White Boy Rick, you had the YBIs, and you had, that was it at that time. The Ponies didn't come till later. But Joy Road was virgin territory for certain vices at this time. And there was vices that had jobs and was professionals. So it wasn't no loose money. It wasn't no change. It wasn't no dollars. It was $100. It was follow me to the bank. Here go my mink coat. Here go my iced out necklace. So we had, oh my God, we had, man, let me tell you something. We had sleepovers of money. You hear me?
So let me ask you something. What was something that made that neighborhood different from the other neighborhoods when you talk about the money, the difference in the money?
Because we had a different clientele. We had professional clientele. We would have car dealerships pulling up, giving us cars like, "Hey man, I need this. You can have this car for a week." People that worked at car dealerships was managers at car dealerships. "Hey man, I got this Lincoln. Y'all want this Lincoln for a week? Give me this." You had people that was kids that inherited money, was spending the night for weeks. Like,
Spend on midnight.
what? Are you going home? No, I'm just gonna chill for another week.
Right.
I gotta go to the bank tomorrow. Take me to Comerica. I gotta get out $2,000.
So all of a sudden you seen this influx of money coming in off this new drug. What was they calling this new drug?
Crack.
And when was the first time you seen crack hit Joy Road? What year?
This beach slam had it like in '85, but I had already saw it like in '84 with my man them on Linwood, but I wasn't tripping. I was like, whatever.
But then you seen it hit the neighborhood and it changed your way of thinking.
Yeah, when I seen my niggas, man, I saw, man, let me tell you, we had some shit. I made a mistake and was drinking like this. And somehow it wasn't a paper cup, it was a glass. And somebody said something, I laughed, and the drink went into the vial. The girl was cooking. And I was drinking Hennessy. So they're like, hold on. We're gonna call this Doodoo Brown. We made a name of another form of this shit called Doodoo Brown. And motherfuckers wanted the Doodoo Brown. And we were selling it for like $10 more than what we were selling the regular shit for, and it was getting it.
Okay. When did you realize, or when did y'all realize that this stuff was impacting y'all in the neighborhood in the worst way, that it was like destroying y'all? Was this ever a socially acceptable thing before y'all understood what it actually was? Like, did y'all understand what y'all was doing or what this was? Was it, because I don't think people understand that, because from what I hear is it wasn't always looked at. They did not know what they was doing. Like, they did not know that this stuff was that addictive.
Which one?
Crack.
I'm gonna explain something to you. This is what a professional law enforcement told me. They always looked at it as a party drug that was designed to incriminate a people of color.